Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So in this video we are going to learn what is time, what is clock, digital clock, analog clock, hands off clock, reading of time and example of reading of time. So let's start. First, what is time? The measured or measurable period during which an action, process or condition exists or continues is called time. The basic unit of time is second. The other units of times are minutes, hour, days, weeks, months, years, etc. They are larger than a second. Some units such as nanoseconds and millisecond are smaller than seconds. An example of time is 3:45 in the afternoon, or even we can say as 3:45 p.m. A reading of time is given by clock. So here on the right corner down you see a clock. So to how to read time and more about clock and the types of clock you will learn in other slides. So let's move on to our next slide. So in this slide we are going to learn about what is clock. So we are dependent on clock for our routine activities from wake up in the morning to sleep at night. Clock is used to see time. There are two types of clock. One is digital and second is analog. So on the left corner you see digital clock and the right corner you see the analog clock. So let's move on to next slide and we will learn about more things. So in this slide we are going to learn about digital clock. Uh, a digital clock is a type of clock that displays the time digitally. This format of time is also seen in other devices such as phone, laptop, tablet, etc. This you can see even set you can even set alarms in this clock, as well as this clock also shows AM, PM, day temperature, etc. on its screen. So here given below is the picture of a digital clock. Let's move on to next slide and learn about other things. So in the previous slide, we learned about digital clock. Now we are going to learn about analog clock. So what is an analog clock? It is a type of clock used to see time. It has three hands in it, which are the hour hand, the minutes hand, the seconds hand. Its visual part is called dial. It may or may not have a date display. So this was about analog clock. In the down you can see the image of an analog clock. So let's move on to next slide. So in this slide we are going to learn about hands of clock. There are three hands of clock that define a particular time. They are a seconds arm. This is the fastest arm among other arms. Minutes arm. This arm of clock is bit slower than seconds arm. Hours arm. This arm is the lowest among all other two arms. So here I told you how to identify the three arms of clock. So down in the picture there is a picture of an analog clock and three hands of clock are mentioned. So this was all about hands of clock. Let's move on to our next slide. So in this slide we are going to learn about reading of time. That means how to read a time. So 1 minute is equals to 60 seconds, 1 hour is equals to 60 minutes. What happens if second arm is at 1? It indicates 5 seconds. Same as it like what happens when it is at 2? It indicates 10 seconds. And what if it is at 3? Then it indicates 15 seconds. uh, Minutes arm is at 1, it indicates 5 minutes. Minutes arm is at 2, it indicates 10 minutes. Minutes arm is at 3, it indicates 15 minutes. Going forward, each number increases and moves 5 minutes ahead. Hours arm at 1 indicates 1 hour. Hours arm at 2 indicates 2 hour. Hours arm at 3 indicates 3 hour. So this was reading of time. In next slide, we are going to see one example of reading of time. So let's move on to next slide and look at our example. So example, hour arm in between 1 and 2 indicates 1 hour. Minutes arm at 6 indicates 6 into 5, which is 30 minutes. As I told you in previous slide that the number moves ahead, so they get multiplied by 5 or they get increased by 5 minutes. Seconds arm at 9 indicates 9 into 5 is equals to 45 seconds. Same formula we use for seconds also. If a number moves ahead, it gets multiplied by 5. For example, if second arm could be at 2, then it could be like uh, 2 into 5, that is equals to 10 seconds. So the time from the above example is 1:30 and 45 seconds, or 1 hour 30 minutes 45 seconds. So given below is a clock which shows 1:30 the time and 45 seconds. So 45 seconds, the second arm is the dotted arm which is pointing towards 9, which is equals to 5 into 9 is equals to 45 seconds. So this was all about an example of reading of time. So I hope you learned about reading of time. In this video, I know there was much knowledge, and I hope reading of time would be clear. So thank you everyone for your time. Please subscribe to my channel, like my videos, share my channel, and share my videos too. Thank you.